Okay, everyone, we're going to go through a little bit of an OpaVote demonstration so that the ballot I send you makes a little bit of sense and you can visually see some of the features I'm talking about. And what am I thinking of using OpaVote for? Well, maybe nothing for us, but this could be something of interest to affiliates. But I also think in certain LNC votes, such as ones where we want to use ranked choice voting, which can be very difficult to manually tabulate, it might be very useful. And in fact, it might also be something that's very useful to use at our conventions or something like it. But I do think we need to start exploring these options. So we go over to opavote.com. Yep, and I'm already logged in, I believe. So we're going to create this election that I'm going to be sending to you guys. As you see, it's a pretty simple interface. And we'll hit create election. Okay, election title. Let's see. Okay, most memeliest of them all. And put in a description. This will be featured in the voting page and also the email that goes out to voters. And you can see there's all kinds of formatting options to make it pretty. Also various languages. If for some reason we needed to have several versions. I always enable expert mode as it gives you more options. And in here, there can be notes if there's secretarial notes or other things. So just for a second, why not? Blah, blah, blah. That's most of my notes. And here, there's email text that would not appear on the website, but will appear in the voter email. So please select. So we'll be doing a ranked choice voting. So let's just put that in there, but you can put in images. You can make it all fancy pants if you'd like. Language for the voting page and email. Here you have an option that you can show the results as they're being tabulated, which is not something we typically do, but you can see you have that option. And of course it says, make sure you understand this. It could influence your election. You can have a voting start date if you were going to be sending out an email ahead of time. Well, let's make it for today. It's optional. You don't have to fill that out. Voting stop date will be tomorrow, but you can always manually stop your elections. If this is a longer term ballot, say LNC 10-day ballot, you can, excuse me, wrong one. You can send automatic reminders. Now here's the new feature that they put in just because I asked for it. Their default used to be anonymous voting, and we really couldn't use it because we don't use anonymous voting on the LNC. But for ours, we will have non-anonymous voting. And 1 per line, 50 characters per name is where you put your options or your candidates. So who should be the most memeliest of them all? Well, how about taxation is theft? Harambe, of course. You can never have something without Harambe. If it pleases the crown. The old classics too. We must include those. Okay, so these are going to be your choices for the most memeliest of them all. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Method. Look at all of these potential methods. So you got your single winner, your multi-winner. This will be a single winner. Let's see. So single transferable vote is the option we'll be doing here. but you also have approval voting and then all these really obscure ones that you can try out. Condorcet methods, Coombs method, that sort of thing. I've used both the Scottish single transferable vote and the Coombs method, and that has worked really, really well. You'll get minor differences. We did an election in Colorado where I ran them through both, and there were differences, and it could show you how that does. But let's just go through the Coombs method. And they give you a demo election. This is a little bit more advanced where the voter adds each candidate to the ballot. There's simpler ones where the voter just rearranges them. Require full vote, you can, but we will not. Number of winners would be 1. Shuffle candidate order so that it's randomized, that there isn't some kind of unconscious bias in the order of the choices. So let's save that information and go over to voters. If you, for instance, at convention had a large Excel file, you can upload it here. You can manually enter emails here. And then there's certain reports you can run if you have some invalid emails. What's also interesting is that you can have code voters. So this would be for kiosks. You email or you provide on paper a code which will be unique to each voter. You would download them. You can have a certain number. You can see them. And this is the link that they would go to vote, that you'd put on the little printout that you gave them with their voter code on it. And the codes can only be used once. And you can download your codes ahead of time in case you need to prepare them, such as at convention. But we're going to be doing an email vote, right? I'm going to put pause on this video for 1 second while I go get a copy paste of all of the LNC emails. All right, I copied and pasted them from the list I give to members when they want to bulk mail the LNC. And see, I just copy pasted them in there. Messed this one up. Let's try that again. I was wondering if these had to be on separate lines. Let's try that again. I'm going to let them know, though, they need to tell you the error. I remember this, I think, from doing Radical Caucus votes. They got to be 1 per line. All right, now that we have all the emails in there, I'm including people that I know aren't going to be at this meeting as well, so maybe they can have some fun with us too when they get this email. We'll see if they go, what's this? I know Susan will know. All right, hit OK. So I have 25 valid emails, and I believe up to 25 is what you can get for using this system for free. For single elections, I think it's either $5 or $10. We'll look that up. For if you have more than 25 emails or more than a certain number of candidates. So we have no code voters. So now let's look at preview the voting page. So you can see that text we put there, and then here's the instructions where you would move it over like that. So you can see it goes in order. You have a shareable full page preview here. So if you wanted to show somebody, let's go back to the console. And let's do the preview voter email. The price of this is still a 0. And you can see what I typed in. Please select your choices, blah, blah, blah. And this is from my account information. I could change that depending upon what we are using here. So let's save this. and it's got a very extensive help menu. Now, some information about this site. The guy who is the mastermind behind it worked or either still works with FairVote. So very much in our ideological wheelhouse. And when I had asked him for things such as non-anonymous voting, he quickly customized it for us. And I think if we needed anything else, he would do that as well. So let's go back to the console. And if we went here, so you can see the current election, it says I'm editing, and we can go into manage, and I can start it at any time. Okay, and we could also edit it at any time. So that is it for OpaVote. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.